Oh, hey friends, Jessica Brown here with episode 7 of Sober Story. I just finished the speech that I give every semester to Regis University in the Psychology of Addiction class. I started last year during quarantine, and this is the first time I've given this speech while struggling with addiction issues, because I haven't in 5 years. And this time the story included liver donation denial and opioid withdrawal and, the things that I've been talking about lately. I got teary on those things. And at the end, what's really, really touching is that we go through and the different students in my group express this gratitude. It's taking a moment of gratitude and talking about what my words meant to them. And this word inspirational and how, the courage to be honest and authentic. And I wanted to say, just to whomever's watching this, what I said to them, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, that culture is based on storytelling. That's how we pass down things. That's how we evolve. That's how we share. And everybody has a story. And this sober story, the one that I shared in that class, the one that I share with you a little at a time, it's just one of my stories. And we all have a story. We have lots of stories. I happen to have lived many lifetimes in these brief 41 years. But to have the courage, not just of action in your life, not just the courage to do the things that you're afraid of, which I still highly recommend, but the courage to be honest with yourself about your own story, the courage to speak those words aloud, because you don't know who's hearing them and you don't know what they're going to mean. And today, what I tried to impress upon them more than the minutia of my own life is that I want you to hear my words as one version of this story, because there are people in your life, maybe even you, who are living a different version of this story. There are a lot of people who are dealing with addiction, and even people who aren't dealing with addiction are dealing with negative self-talk, or this idea that there's a version of themselves that's okay. And especially in this Instagram life where everybody's putting out this, glossy version of ourselves. I don't look like this every day. I got to put on makeup today. I got to wear a fancy dress. But I try to put out videos where I actually look like myself too. Because while it looks different on all of us, there's no reason for all of us to reinvent the wheel. And there's no reason for all of us to torture ourselves because we think we should be different than we are, or the idea that we can be more. We can never be more or less than what we are in that moment. It's just choice. And this idea that my sober time is what gives me value takes away my ability to actually have value. Because, and I said this in my speech, that if I relapse tonight and I get sober again tomorrow, I have just as much value as I do today. My value comes from the person that I am, not how I look, not things that are out of my control. And your value is not dependent upon how others see you. It is not dependent even upon mistakes that you've made or mistakes that you're gonna make. We are human. We are fallible. And my value comes from trying to do and be better. My value comes from trying to make other people's lives better. My value comes from the fact that I'm willing to serve up my life, my mistakes, my embarrassments for others. I have a friend I send embarrassing stories to because I think it's funny, because he thinks they're funny. And that's it. That's the extent of our relationship, is me sending embarrassing stories. And that gives me value. My value cannot be taken away by one bad decision. My value is not diminished by the years that I made poor decisions, the years I spent not liking myself, the moments throughout each day I don't like myself. My value is not changeable. My contribution to this world is, and I have control over that, and I'm going to take that control. But I think that's where the idea of God's children comes from. And however you identify your higher power, I hope you identify with the connection that connects us all, that thread that weaves us all together. that you're not as alone as you might feel. And if you're still watching this video, I hope my words connect to you in some way. Love yourself today. This is your permission. This is your prescription. Love yourself today. Thanks.